Alright, well, you want Photoshop for free. Now, this is a very expensive software, but easy to get for free, and there's a small process involved. If you're if you're like everybody else that wants to get it for free, you've probably frequented the torrent sites that make you jump through hoops to even get a download, and you're not even sure if it's safe, if there's a virus or not. I'm going to show you the one that I've used and can confirm that it works just fine. And I've simplified the process and re-uploaded it to a different site to make it a very easy download. So let's get started. The first link in the description is going to be a link to the download itself, which brings you to this page. Clearly, you're going to want to press the download button. And this is a 1.5 gigabyte file, so it's going to take some time depending on your internet speed. Me, as you can see, it probably only take about a minute, but that also depends very much on your speeds. Once it's done downloading, it's going to ask you where you want to save it. That's obviously up to you. You can do your desktop, downloads folder, whatever. As soon as we're going to let this download finish, and we'll come right back. Okay, now my download is done, and this is the file you're going to get. Now, you need WinRAR to extract these types of files. If you cannot open it or it doesn't look like it looks like on my desktop, I'll include the link in the description to download WinRAR. Once you download that, install it, and you should have one that looks like this. All you're going to want to do is want to right click on there and extract here, and you're going to get something that looks like this. You'll get all these files. Now, there's a very simple tutorial on how to do this. You're going to want to, of course, read the README file. There's a reason to name that. And there's also two other files. Depending on your computer, you're going to want to click on the 32-bit or the 64-bit. If you're unsure which one is yours, go to your Start menu, type System Information, which will then bring you to this page. Well, 1 second, it's on my other monitor. Let me bring it over. Alright, it'll bring you to this page, and you'll be able to simply find which one you are right here under System Type. Now, I'm 64, so I'm going to want the 64-bit file. You can just get rid of the opposite one. To reduce confusion, that's what you got. Now, to begin, like I said, you're going to want the README file, which looks like this. It gives you step-by-step instructions. First one is disable your internet connection. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So what you're gonna want to do is come down to the bottom right here on your taskbar, the thing that looks like the internet, little computer icon thing. Right click it, open Network and Internet Settings. Bring you to this page, assuming you're on Windows 10. If you're not, if you have a question, just ask, I'll help you out. And you're gonna want to click on Change Adapter Options, which brings you now this page. Now me, I have two of these. But as you can see, one's has a little X on it right now. That's a VPN connection. We're going to ignore that. So you may and should only have one, and that's your internet. You're going to want to right click and disable that. Just right click and disable that. Once you've done that, we've completed this step. Alright, so once your internet connection is disabled, we're free to continue in the process. So now let's assume you had the 64-bit like me. You're going to want to open this folder, which is going to bring you to this. Now, I will not be able to go through this exactly as the way you will be, considering I already have this set up. I'm just going to refer to the installation screenshots folder, which is 100% accurate to what you'll see. So the first thing I want to do is click on Setup. Actually, you know what, before that, let's refer back to the README file, because there is one thing we have to make sure of beforehand. So what we have to do is make sure that we don't have these entries in something called our host file. Now, you're going to find the location for this file in this directory at the bottom that I've highlighted. What you're going to want to do is open up an Explorer like this, paste that directory in there, hit enter. You're going to see this host file that you can't really open. All you got to do is right click on this, and there will be an open with option. Now, I use a special notepad version. You can use the regular one, does not matter. Just click on one of those, and you're going to see something like this. Minus this, you won't have that yet. So, in theory, yours should be empty. What we're looking for is that you don't have these two in there. So, just take a quick scan. You probably won't have them. If you do, remove them. So once that's checked and we're good, we can continue on. So back where we are gonna hit setup. Now save this host file, leave it open somewhere because we're gonna come back to that. So click setup and you're gonna see, just as in these screenshots, this. You're gonna wanna click on the try option. It's gonna ask you to sign in. Go ahead and sign in and pause this video if I move too fast, just for sake of time and the ability to pause. I'll just breeze through this. Click sign in. It's going to say make sure you're connected to the internet, say alright, sign in later. Then you're going to have to hit accept, of course, and then install. And it'll go through the whole process. It'll only take a couple minutes, it's not long at all. And click launch now. It's going to ask you to most likely accept something, so just hit accept and then you'll be presented with this and just again hit sign in later. Then it'll give you this option, just click start trial and Photoshop should launch. Give it time to launch and load, and once the Photoshop has been opened you can now close it. We can move on to the next step. This next step involves us going back to the readme file, where we're going to have to copy this file, we're on step 6, into a specific directory. So refer back to this main folder, navigate to the crack folder where you'll find this, and go ahead and get this directory copied. And in your Windows File Explorer, you're just going to want to paste that so we can get to this location. And of course we're going to need this file, the crack. And all we're going to do is drag and drop this into here. It's going to ask you, do you want to replace the existing file? Just hit yes, confirm, whatever it is you want to replace it. With all that done, we can now close these, get these out of the way, and get back to just the readme file. Now, if you remember earlier I said keep that host file open because we're going to return back to that. So here it is. You're going to take the entries here in step 7, copy them and go over to your host file and just find some empty lines. Just make one blank and then paste them here and then hit save. Now, depending on if you launched your notepad or whatnot in administrator mode, it's going to ask you, do you want to launch administrator mode? If that happens, make sure you hit yes, and then it'll pop back up and just hit save again. Upon that being done, you're now complete and Photoshop will be free and fully functional. You can have all the benefits of using Photoshop however you normally do. And so with that done, it's also important to remember to go back and re-enable your internet, because without your internet, I don't know how you're still watching this video. So we're back over here, just as we were before. Open network and internet settings, change adapter options, right back to your internet, click enable. It'll only take a couple seconds and you're connected again. And with that, it's the conclusion of this tutorial, and I hope you enjoyed and have fun enjoying your free Photoshop. Might have saved you about $600 if you would have bought the license. So thank you, and until next time.